cause fuck it, nigga. Didn't that shit to talk about no motherfucking way. So I guess you could say I'm forcing it. But it is what it is, man. Show must go on, right? I guess we shall do this. Bang. Live on Too Much Game. Bang. Live on Uncle Dolemite. Instagram cracking. Go ahead, get this shit booming. They shooting late night. And then there was bass. Good evening, motherfuckers and motherfuckers. This is your host, Yung Dolemite, of the Too Much Game podcast, live from the Boom Boom Room, once again. Motherfucking late night goddamn episode of this motherfucker, boy. You know, I was off work today, so, you know, I had like a family day and shit. You know, spent time with the wife and kids. You know, took them out to the park since quarantine lightening up a little bit. Went to the mall real quick. On some bullshit, honestly, my nigga. It was a burnt fucking mission. Nigga went to the motherfucking mall. And ironically, you know, today is what, March 26th? So it's Air Max Day. You know, a celebration of the Air Max technology made by Nike and shit, you know. So a nigga for sure had some Air Maxes on and shit. I got on some, you know, some lightweight shit, gold medal, Air Max 97s, you know, light action. Nigga had to, you know, rep for Air Max Day. But a nigga was trying to go get some Crocs. Not the clogs, but like some little Croc slippers and shit. You know, just some comfortable walk around the house shoes. But anyway, nigga went to the mall looking, and you know, like I said, you know, I'm in Southern California. So, you know, quarantine a little bit lightening up, you know, they starting to open shit back up. Nigga went to the mall. It was a line to get into every store, including the bullshit ass Croc store, my nigga. It's a trip how popular Crocs is getting. Them motherfuckers is so goddamn ugly, and it ain't like they some new shit. But for some strange ass reason, they just popular as hell. So a nigga went to go get me some Croc slippers just to walk around the house with. No go. Was not able to acquire them motherfuckers. Stood in that little bullshit line just to find out them niggas ain't have my size. And it's a trip. Like, that's the fucked up thing about me. Like, nigga, I wear size 13. I'm not no tall, big, giant nigga, but my feet is big for my size. So they ain't had no size 13s in the Croc store for your kids, so motherfucker had to, you know, take the L on that. So a motherfucker went to the Croc store for no fucking reason, but, you know, overall, motherfucker had a cool little day with the fam. Took the kids out, let them get some exercise. Did a lot of walking with my wife around the track while the kids played, so wasn't that bad of a day. You know, the week went all right as far as like me personally, you know, got to ride my motorcycle a little bit. You know, work was cool and all that good old shit. But like, nigga, as far as the news cycle, this kind of seemed like one of them weeks, dog. You know, because what dominated the fucking news was this punk ass motherfucker, dog. Derrick goddamn Jackson. Like, nigga, what the fuck going on with my nigga, man? Like, nigga, oh, how the mighty have fallen. Like, a lot of us saw this shit coming, especially men, dog. You know, and I would tell women this shit a lot. Like, you know, the women who would try to, like, share his clips and send them to me and repost this shit, you know, with the captions agreeing with all that bullshit he be talking about. Like, nigga, we saw this shit coming, dog. You know, like I spoke on last episode about not putting forth a fucking image of being perfect. Like, nobody is motherfucking perfect, especially men, man. Like, men fuck up. Men make mistakes, you know. Like, you know, he will make all these fucking videos of how, you know, a man is into you and the type of things that you should require of a man, the type of things you should expect from a man. You should always hold a man accountable and all this shit. And it's like when I first became aware of Derrick Jackson, like a couple of his videos I seen, it was like, okay, this nigga saying some real shit. A lot of it is kind of simping, but at the same time, like, I could kind of fuck with some of what he's saying because, like I believe in women having standards. I believe in women having requirements and women not settling for less. Women wanting for a man to, do certain things to get her attention or certain things to, really fuck with her. Like I agree with what a lot of what Derrick Jackson used to talk about, but it got to the point where it was getting fucking excessive, my nigga. And like this is the thing when it comes to niggas like Derrick Jackson. Like there's a rule in the 48 laws of power. I forget which one it is, but if you read the book or if you're familiar with the book, one of the laws in the 48 laws of power is to never cross the mark aimed for in victory. Which basically means that, once you reach a certain plateau of something that you want, stick to where the fuck you at. Like, nigga, once you win, you won. Leave it at where you won at. Like Derrick Jackson, it was like he created this fucking platform on, basically telling women not to settle for less, and he started taking that shit overboard. Like it went from, you should look for a man that's really into you, look for a man that shows you action, not words, look for a man that's really into you as opposed to a man that you gotta chase, to the point where it was like, if a man is not perfect, he is not for you, queen. A man should never cheat on a woman, queen. If a man cheats on you, it's something wrong with him. Like, that nigga made a video like, I have no sympathy for a man who lived a promiscuous life before he got with a woman and decided to continue to be promiscuous while he's with the woman. I have no sympathy for that man. Really now, nigga? Yet now you want sympathy from us. Because it was like, nigga, throughout this whole bullshit, and I got my homegirl Queen Sharonda from the Cute Chat podcast, shout out to her and shit. We was having a conversation about that shit. Like, nigga, I was calling every play this motherfucker was finna pull throughout the whole shit. I was like, here come the fucking apology video. I know he gonna bring his woman into this motherfucker. Because the thing with Derrick Jackson, something that I always notice, and like I would tell motherfuckers, like, why is this nigga making all these videos in the car? Like, why does this nigga never make a video sitting in his living room or sitting on his couch or chilling with his wife? I think the motherfucker got kids. Like, why do you never involve your family in none of this shit? Like, none of this fucking image that you have. Like something that I will always, I always bring up my family on this show. I always bring up the fact that I'm married on this show. Like, like sometimes, like if you watch on YouTube or if you there on Instagram live and shit, like even if you look at my YouTube page, like it's like a couple of like the cover arts for my shows where I always show you my left hand where I got my wife's name tattooed on my hand. You can see my wedding ring and all that shit. Like I always let motherfuckers know that I'm married, dog. Like, it ain't no secret. But the thing about fucking Derrick Jackson, like he got this whole little relationship guru bullshit going on. But at the same time, like I tell motherfuckers, dog, like, you shouldn't listen to a motherfucker that talk about relationships, but they relationship is a motherfucking secret. Like the thing about Derrick Jackson, like I honestly feel like that nigga was like, he was selling a dream, dude. Like he was really giving women this image, like, look at me all buff and handsome in the fucking front seat. I'm not gonna show you my woman because I don't want you to think that I really have one. I want you to look at this image of me, and this is the image that you should be looking for. You should want a perfect nigga like me. Derrick perfect ass nigga Jackson. And it was some bullshit. And women love to call niggas haters. Whenever a woman would send us some Derrick Jackson shit, and we would be like, bitch, that's bullshit. Oh, you just hating. Oh, Derrick saying some real shit. No, he's not, my nigga. Like, Derrick Jackson is the male equivalent of what women call a pick me, which is a motherfucker who just says unrealistic shit, puts forth an unrealistic image, just says a bunch of bullshit that's not based in reality at all. Like Derrick Jackson is a fucking dream seller, my nigga. And then just the way he did what he did, my nigga. Like for them to say that, he got caught fucking another bitch in the bed him and his wife sleep in, and the fact that, they said that this motherfucker had boxes around the room saying this her shit packed up, me and her breaking up and all this shit. So nigga, you hit homegirl with the me and her ain't together line. Like, women, y'all taking relationship advice from a nigga who ain't even a good motherfucking cheater. Like, he wasn't even smooth about that shit. And then like, nigga, I was watching videos where, according to the videos and the way shit was looking, a lot of the videos he made, you could see his side bitch house in the background of the video that he making. So this nigga literally making videos telling y'all to look for the perfect man while he outside his side bitch house. Like, the shit is just funny to me, dude. Like I said, I done came in this motherfucker literally 7 days ago, dog. I came in this motherfucker last week saying we need to give Kirk Franklin a pass, because Kirk Franklin never put forth the image of perfection. Kirk Franklin never said that he was the perfect man. Kirk Franklin only made good music. It ain't his job to be perfect. It's his job to be Kirk Franklin. It's his job to make good music. If he uses profanity, that's his motherfucking business, because he was never in the I don't use profanity business. He was in the I make music about Jesus business. So for him to use profanity, that shit don't discredit him in no fucking way, because his music ain't about not using profanity. His music doesn't use profanity, but his music ain't about not using profanity. The difference between Kirk Franklin and Derrick Jackson is Derrick Jackson's whole brand is perfection. Derrick Jackson's whole brand is men ain't supposed to cheat. Derrick Jackson is a goddamn hypocrite. Like I said, Kirk Franklin is not a hypocrite, because Kirk Franklin's image is not that. The reason that we all shitting on Derrick Jackson, because I seen a couple of females like, why y'all going so hard on Derrick? Why y'all going so hard on him? Y'all cheat too. Men cheat too. It's a lot of men out here that get caught cheating and all this old shit. A lot of the men that get caught cheating ain't got no motherfucking image where they literally tear down niggas for cheating. Derrick Jackson's whole platform was built on tearing down niggas who cheat, niggas who look at other women, niggas who do anything contrary to what women say the perfect man does. Like, nigga, his whole fucking image was some bullshit. And it's like, this is the reason a lot of niggas is dancing on his fucking grave. Because it's like, a lot of relationship gurus, like say a Tariq Nasheed or Kevin Samuels or any other motherfucker you listen to. A lot of motherfuckers listen to these relationship people about certain shit that all, tell you what you should look for in a man, what you should be doing to attract a man, or vice versa, telling niggas what you should do to attract a woman or what you should be looking for in a woman. You rarely hear a motherfucker whose platform is so strongly based upon perfection. Like, you don't, well, I don't know. Let me not say that, because I don't listen to a lot of these niggas who do this relationship shit. So it's like, the ones who I've heard, like, it ain't like these niggas is telling women, oh, men should be perfect. You shouldn't fuck with a man that's not gonna put his fucking coat down in the water for you on a rainy day. You shouldn't fuck with a nigga who's not willing to buy you a house on the first night and pay your light bill and all this stupid ass shit. Like, nigga, Derrick Jackson was just going fucking overboard with his message, dog. Like, the nigga went from, you shouldn't settle for less to you shouldn't settle for anything less than perfection. And that shit is stupid, my nigga. Like, Derrick Jackson was setting women up for fucking failure. Like, that was my thing. Like, my analogy for a nigga like Derrick Jackson is the nigga who will tell you, oh man, you should check out this motherfucking steakhouse. The steaks are amazing. The asparagus is to die for. These niggas lobster tails is this motherfucking big, and they juicy and they sweet and they delicious, and they got fucking endless drinks, and the mimosas are amazing, and the fucking champagne is delicious, and the drinks are strong, and everything is great. The atmosphere is fantastic. But he won't tell you the price. Like, he'll tell you what you should be looking for. He'll tell you what to go get. He'll tell you all that shit. But he don't never tell you what you need to be doing to acquire a nigga like this. Like, he don't even tell you the price of some shit like this. He don't tell you that all this shit that you asking for might come with some bullshit attached to it, because ain't nobody motherfucking perfect. Like, he tell you all this shit, but he don't tell you what the fuck you need to be doing to get a nigga like this. Like 5 ways to know a man is into you. Like I say at the end of this motherfucking show, every single episode since literally the beginning. If I'm not mistaken, I might have said that shit at the end of the goddamn pilot before this shit was even a real show. I'm not here to help you get bitches. I'm here to help you get better. The reason that I say that shit is because I want for anybody listening to this motherfucker to be working on improving their motherfucking self. Being the best that you can be so you could attract the best motherfucker for you. Having standards is something that I thoroughly agree with. That is something that I'm very big on. I do whole episodes about that shit. But the thing is, when it comes to shit like that, dog, you can have standards, but you have to be the type of motherfucker that could attract somebody who lives up to those standards that you have. You can't be looking for an amazing motherfucker if you're not yourself amazing. Like Kevin Samuels, though many hate him, like, I look at Kevin Samuels as the fucking balance to a nigga like Derrick Jackson. Like, Derrick Jackson birthed the popularity of a Kevin Samuels. Like, Kevin Samuels, like the analogy that I use with the nigga telling you about the steakhouse. Derrick Jackson tells you how great the steak is, and how good the asparagus is, and how good the drinks are, and how nice the environment is. Kevin Samuels on the other end tells you the price. Matter of fact, Kevin Samuels 9 times out of 10 is a nigga that's gonna tell you you can't afford the motherfucking shit. Like, that's the difference between a Kevin Samuels and a fucking Derrick Jackson. Like, both of these niggas are extreme on both ends of the fucking spectrum. Derrick Jackson is extreme on what you should be asking for, and Kevin Samuels is extreme on what the fuck you have to offer when it comes to what the fuck you asking for. Like, Kevin Samuels asks women, okay, what do you want? You can't get that. Derrick Jackson says, what do you want? Go get that. Even though I don't know what the fuck you have to offer, what the fuck you doing, who the fuck you are, you should just be asking for steak any motherfucking way. And the thing is, like, nigga, you gotta look somewhere in the middle. Like, if you follow Derrick Jackson and you feel like everything Derrick Jackson say is gospel, your ass need to be following fucking Kevin Samuels just as goddamn closely. Because if you listening to this motherfucker for all this advice and you feel like that shit is all that, like, you need fucking balance in your life. Like, I tell a lot of women that shit. Like, if you really think that bullshit that Derrick Jackson is talking about is some real shit, you honestly should go buy cats. Cause you gonna be single for a long fucking time. Fucking with Derrick Jackson, he gonna have you dizzy as fuck. And this shit is beyond what the fuck he got caught doing. Cause like I said, I don't judge motherfuckers for shit like that. Like, this is something that, I don't really talk about as much on Too Much Game because this ain't no fucking relationship show. I have a relationship show that I'm on, the Cat vs. Dog podcast. So I don't really go very deeply into relationship shit. Like, I think I've only done 1 or 2 episodes on here that were really relationship heavy. And the name of the motherfucker was I Don't Usually Do This. But like me, I don't judge men for being unfaithful. I understand that it's wrong. I don't condone it. I don't say that it's right. I don't say niggas should do it. I don't give advice on niggas doing that shit. It's not a good fucking thing. But I understand that it does happen. I can't condemn a motherfucker for doing that shit because it's something that I've myself done. Like I always say on this motherfucker, like, I don't give advice based on me being perfect. I never say that I'm perfect. I never try to put forth a fucking image that I'm perfect. I make motherfucking mistakes. I make very bad mistakes. I've made bad mistakes, fucked up decisions, and bad choices. But the thing is, with a nigga like him, the reason motherfuckers is clowning his ass is because he don't do that. He don't give you that disclaimer. That nigga don't give you no stitch of no fucking reality. Like, he don't give you no looks into his real personal life. Like, that's where motherfuckers fuck up at. Like, if you listen to the last episode of this motherfucker, a lot of what I was saying was, nigga, like, the thing that absolves a lot of people when they make mistakes in life is the fact that you understand that they human. A lot of motherfuckers ain't putting forth the image of perfection because we all understand ain't nobody motherfucking perfect. But him? Oh no. According to him, he perfect. He don't make mistakes. He don't have no sympathy for niggas making mistakes. Because according to Derrick Jackson, as a man, perfection is easy. As a man, perfection is attainable. As a man, cheating is like some way out crazy shit. Like, that nigga literally treat like cheating like it's a double murder or some shit. Like, it's some shit that you gotta plan out. Like, it's some crazy shit that's just, oh my God, if a nigga cheats on you, he can't love you. And that nigga act like if you cheat, you don't love your mama or some shit. Like, the way Derrick Jackson just talks about how men treat women in general is like, come on, dog. Like, oh, if a nigga don't text you back within 5 seconds, he's not interested. If a nigga don't text you back, instantly, he don't like you. If a nigga ain't, doing all this and doing all that, the motherfucker don't want to be with you. Like, you dragging it, my nigga. Like, Derrick Jackson, it's like, I don't know, my nigga. Like, I really judge a motherfucker's logic when they listen to him too fucking closely. Like, you can't be motherfucking serious. If you really think this shit that this nigga is talking is some real shit, like, I really look at you like you a dummy. Like, you must really believe in Santa Claus. Like, on Easter, you must really be looking for the bunny. Like, you must really think there's a bunny that lays plastic eggs with candy in them. Like, that's what I look at when I see a motherfucker who follow Derrick Jackson and be in his comments talk about that's some real shit. No, it's not. It's some bullshit. Like, I look at Derrick Jackson as a motherfucker that's telling his teenager that the tooth fairy still exists. Like, because that's what he's telling women. He's telling women that Prince Charming exists. He's a real person. He's really out there looking for you. Go to sleep and he's gonna come and kiss you and wake you up in the morning. Like, so when he fucks up, yeah, there's a lot of niggas waiting for him to fall on his motherfucking face. Like me personally, I done said that shit a couple times on a couple different shows. Shout out to Bet the House podcast. We done did a couple live, Instagram lives and episodes on they show talking about this Derrick Jackson bullshit. Like there's niggas that couldn't wait to see this nigga fall on his ass. Me, I wasn't really tripping honestly because I knew it was coming. So like it wasn't like I was dancing on the table about that shit because niggas cheat, dog. It happens. That's just what it is, my nigga. You been together a long time, especially a motherfucker like Derrick Jackson, a nigga who don't do shit but talk to motherfucking women all goddamn day. Like you wasn't expecting one of these motherfuckers to slip through the cracks, and get that issue with this nigga. Because like since his ass came to prominence, I've told motherfuckers like niggas who talk like that 9 times out of 10 are talking like that to attract women. You talking to women on some this is what you should be looking for, queen type shit, but on some real shit, come on, dog. Niggas saw through that bullshit. We knew, nigga, you're talking to women like that because you're trying to get you one. Like you don't involve your woman in none of this shit because you don't want her to fuck your game up. You don't want her to spoil your image of looking like the single nigga telling women what they should be looking for. Because subconsciously he telling y'all, you should be fucking with me. All these niggas ain't shit. But you know who is? Me, Derrick Jackson, the handsome dark-skinned nigga in the front seat of the bucket. You should be in the passenger seat of the bucket. Don't you want a nigga like me? You should just slide in my DM and come fuck with me. That's what that nigga's doing. Like that's why his woman ain't there. That's why he ain't in the motherfucking crib. Because subconsciously he want y'all to think he fucking single. Like that's what it is, dog. It's nothing more, nothing less. Like he just selling y'all this motherfucking dream, dog. It's just like back in the day, like back when rappers used to try to pretend they was single just to sell records and shit. Even if you knew they had a woman, it wasn't cool to see them with a woman all the time because they wanted to sell you that heartthrob image. And that's what Derrick Jackson whole shit was. He wanted to sell you that motherfucking image. Even though he telling you, oh, whoopty whoopty whoop, it wasn't about him and his wife or, this is what me and my wife do. This is me and nah, nigga, it was always look at me. Me, just me. And then when he had the motherfucking apology video, had his woman out here looking like, man, pray for her safety, dog. Like, I was laughing because on the shade room, like in the comments of that shit, that motherfucker said, blink twice if you're in danger. That's really what it looked like, my nigga. Like, the way he was squeezing her motherfucking hand was on some like, bitch, you better not say nothing stupid in front of this motherfucking camera. And I seen her trying to make the little cleanup videos and, she pulled up with the goddamn G.I. Joe outfit on and shit. Like, y'all see a bonnet, I see a beret. I got the sword of the spirit and the armor of the word and all that old bullshit. Come on, my nigga. Y'all motherfuckers out here both looking dumb as fuck. And I mean that in the most respectful way possible. You got your woman out here looking fucked up. And she ain't looking fucked up because she got cheated on. Because, like I said, I don't even judge that part, my nigga. Like, it's all about the hypocritical element of this whole shit. The fact that you sell an image that you don't live by. That's the whole motherfucking thing. That's the reason everybody clowning this motherfucker. Because when we catch rappers cheating, we don't say shit. When we find out Kirk Franklin cuss, we joke, but it ain't shit. Like celebrities been getting caught cheating since the beginning of time, dog. Since being a celebrity has been a thing. Celebrities been cheating, motherfucker. Like that's what celebrities do, my nigga. Like, when you cracking out here, That's what motherfuckers do, nigga. You know, you go get you some pussy on the side. That's what comes with fame. Lots of extra pussy. And a lot of motherfuckers, you know, your girl stay or your girl leave. But the public, for the most part, we might talk some shit, but that be it. But when you put forth this image that cheating is all of this and cheating is all that, that's when you look fucked up. You know, like I did the episode, The White Towel Dynamic, about accountability. This is the white towel, my nigga. You know, like this is exactly what that is, my nigga. Like this is an athlete who plays football on a rainy day in the mud, wiping his face with a white towel. Like, even though this same athlete said he wouldn't get dirty. Oh man, I don't get dirty when I play football. Okay, here's a white towel. Wipe your face. That's what this was, my nigga. All the rest of us is like, hey nigga, we football players. We get dirty. That's what happens. You know, like I tell y'all on this motherfucking show, I'm a man. I'm a human being. I make mistakes. That's what happens. I fuck up. So when I fuck up, even if I tell everybody all of the mistakes that I make, it's expected because I tell y'all the type of fucking mistakes that I make, the type of motherfucker that I am. I'm a fucking human. I'm flawed. Listen to how the fuck I talk. I don't speak proper English, nigga. I trip over words. I say fucked up shit. Nigga, I repeat myself. You just heard me just stumble over a motherfucking word right now. Nigga, I ain't perfect. But I don't portray that. I don't say that. I don't say I'm perfect at everything I do. I don't even speak perfectly. I don't speak proper English. So when I fuck up, it's expected. It's some regular shit. It can be excused. But for a nigga like this, it's hard to excuse a motherfucker who literally told us that we ain't shit if we do what he do. So nah, my nigga, ain't no pass. Then you bring your wife out and she look motherfucking stupid. You know, she hop out here with the, I got the sword of the spirit and the Lord and the, and she really look abused on some real shit. Like just they whole dynamic and how they interact between each other look like that nigga choking her out, whooping her ass, or you know, he probably what would you call that shit? Like mentally abusing her, like verbally abusing her, manipulating her. But at the end of the day, you know, when all this shit fall out and iron out, they gonna get paid from all this shit. Like that's the funniest part of all of it. And I think this is the reason I'm not really jumping up and down about it, dancing on Derrick Jackson's fucking casket about this shit. Because at the end of the day, nigga, he's gonna make a lot of money off this shit. He gonna sell a lot of books because of this shit. Like, matter of fact, he's writing his book right now about being caught cheating. Let me call that shit right now. As I'm speaking into this fucking microphone, that nigga has a pen and a piece of fucking paper, or he's writing in a MacBook Pro, or however niggas write books these days. He's writing his book about redeeming himself from this cheating scandal, my nigga. That's what Derrick Jackson is doing. You know, because the thing is, nigga, hustlers hustle. Derrick Jackson a hustler, my nigga. He gonna make a bag off this bullshit. He gonna write a book called, I don't know, Redemption from the Front Seat or some stupid shit. Back from the front seat. I don't know, but he gonna make some money off this shit. His wife gonna make some money off this shit. She probably gonna write a book about getting cheated on. It's all a money play, my nigga. You know, only reason I'm really discussing this shit at length is because it's another fucking slow news week, dog. Ain't shit happen. The world is opening back up, but ain't shit cracking. It's just slow out here in these internet streets, in the culture as we call it. Like, you know, the only other thing that we really discussed as far as like over the week is this Quavo shit. And it was funny because like me, Del P from the Man Cave podcast, My nigga Just Red and Big Smash from the fucking Bet the House podcast. We was all chopping it up, laughing about the shit. Just on some, how motherfuckers do. We make jokes, dog. Like when we be sitting there doing our little shit, talking about these little topics. We was making jokes about Quavo getting the truck back from Saweety. Quavo and Saweety. Quavo from the Migos and Saweety, I ain't on front. I'm not even familiar with who the fuck she is or what she does. I think she the motherfucker who make that song. That's my type, but I'm not completely sure. But like I said, me Just Red from the Cold Red podcast and Del P and Big Smash, we sitting there talking shit about it. We laughing and shit, just on our toxic masculinity bullshit. Really jokingly, but we just laughing. And I seen a couple of women like, oh, that's fucked up. It's not so fun if the woman was to do that to him. And the conversation kind of came up on motherfuckers, like taking back gifts that they give motherfuckers in breakups. Because like I was telling them, like at the end of the day, like we not laughing because of what happened in reality. Like we not laughing at Quavo taking back a gift from a woman who he supposedly loved. We not laughing because a nigga who cheated on a woman is taking back a gift. We literally laughing at the comedy of the situation because it's petty. Like we laughing at the pettiness of it more than the reality of it. Because, the reality of it, honestly, like I was telling them, as much as y'all want to like turn it into this oppressive, toxic male ego shit, it's honestly just a petty situation between a young couple. Two young motherfuckers doing young motherfucker shit. When you young, they I think they in their 20s or some shit. I don't know. I know they younger than me. Like when you in a situation that's two young people, when you break up, you take shit. Give me my earrings back then, bitch. Give me my chain back. Okay, nigga, give me my hoodie back. Give me back my jacket. Give me back them Jordans I bought you. That's what young people do, my nigga. So, it is what it is. Like, nigga, the only reason we talking about this shit is because ain't shit else happening in the world, nigga. So we joke about dumb shit. A lot of this shit we wouldn't give a fuck about if the world was open. We wouldn't give a fuck about it if something was happening, say in politics or, like just anything, my nigga. Like if Beyonce had an album out or, Jay-Z was, made another big business deal or some shit. Like, nigga, it's just some bullshit to laugh about. Like, nigga, this nigga repo in the Bentley truck to me was just funny. Cause I'm like, damn, nigga, you cheated on her and told her she wasn't the woman you thought she was. Which, again, my nigga, like, I get it. Like a lot of niggas, when they cheat on a woman, they expect the woman to at least take them back like 2 or 3 times. Damn, we celebrities, nigga. Cause I know in his head, he like, damn, Cardi took back Offset like a few times, nigga, before she dipped out. I cheat only one time and now I ain't shit, goddamn. Where's the love, the audacity of this motherfucker? Like I said, nigga, to us, shit was funny. It ain't shit going on in the world. We laughing at motherfucking Derrick Jackson, who to a lot of niggas ain't no goddamn body. But ain't shit cracking, so this nigga is literally every other meme is a Derrick Jackson meme. I'm literally looking at a meme right now that says, finding out Derrick Jackson is only 5'6" is the fucking icing on the cake. Y'all was really out here taking relationship advice from a whole toddler. That is news to me. 5'6"? Y'all talk all that shit about short niggas. But Derrick Jackson is 5'6". Damn, Quavo taller than him. Derrick Jackson looked like the type of nigga that's like 7'2" and shit. Like he looked like a old John Henry ass nigga, but I could believe it. A lot of them buff niggas be short. But anyway, That shows you how fucking slow it's been, nigga. You know, like last week came in this motherfucker. You know, the whole Kirk Franklin shit had to do like a whole show about Kirk Franklin and some goddamn profanity. Like that's where we at in the world, my nigga. Like the reason I did this show so late, honestly, on some real shit, my nigga, I was literally scouring the internet for content, for something to talk about, something relevant, something that I could bring my listeners, you know, to try to help them in a certain way. And it's like shit just been slow, my nigga. Like it's only been stupid shit happening. So it's like it's literally nothing for a motherfucker to talk about but this dumbass shit. And it'd be hard for me to pull something useful out of this dumb shit. You know, because a lot of it is like common fucking sense. You know, like as far as like with women, when you listen to a snake oil salesman like a nigga like Derrick Jackson, it's just dumb of you. You know, because like I tell a lot of the women who try to like give me shit that this motherfucker said like it's some reality, I always ask them like, do you even know any niggas like that? You know, like I said, like this is the Kevin Samuels counter to what Derrick Jackson says. Okay, this is the shit that you asking for. Who do you know that's like this? And don't tell me your lying ass brother, your lying ass daddy, your lying ass uncles, or none of your lying ass homeboys. You know, because like I've had conversations with women about shit like this. Like when they tell me, oh, I'm looking for a nigga like this and a nigga like this and a nigga like that. And then I'm like, do you know any niggas like that? And they say some bullshit like, my father is like that. My brother is like that. Okay, who else? You know, and I tell motherfuckers this shit a lot. Like, as far as like the advice that I'm gonna give my daughter and the shit that I've told my sisters and all the other women in my life, like nigga, I love them too much to lie to them and give them this fake ass image of what a man is, dog. Like I had a woman honestly sit up here and tell me like, my dad's never cheated on my mom and my brother's never cheated on his girlfriend or any of the girls he's fucked with back in the day. He never cheats on his wife. He never treats them bad. My dad never says anything wrong to my mom. He's never raised his voice. He's never done this or any of this shit to my mom. I like that's cool, but that ain't fucking reality. On some real shit, that's just literally not reality. Motherfuckers get mad at each other. Motherfuckers have beefs. Motherfuckers go through shit. Like nigga, I'll never tell my daughter no shit like that. Like even if, let me just paint you a hypothetical scenario that ain't real. It's literally just a scenario. If me and my wife had never had an argument, me and my wife never had no fucking scandal, me and my wife never had no big issue or drama, I'm not gonna sell that to my daughter as reality. Because even though there are relationships where there's no infidelity, there's no type of big bullshit, you know, some motherfuckers really have a relationship where everything is just peaches and motherfucking cream. That is an outlier. That is a vast minority. That is not normal. That shit is not something, like, put it this way, my nigga. There's only one LeBron James. There's only one Michael Jordan. I wouldn't tell my son, nigga, you could be just like LeBron. You could be just like Michael Jordan. You're gonna be like Michael Jordan. Oh, if you just work hard and drink your fucking orange juice and eat your vitamins every day, you'll be like LeBron James. That's not reality, my nigga. Like, this is the shit that I tell motherfuckers all the time. Like, nigga, you know, and I've had episodes about this shit. Like, nigga, keep your expectations realistic. You know, you should keep your standards realistic. Aim for real shit. Keep your mind focused on real shit. You know, you might surpass your goals. You might surpass what you want. But you should always be focused on some real shit. Because, you just way better off aiming for some real shit and going above and beyond that real shit than aiming for some bullshit and not hitting it, because everything is gonna be a fucking disappointment, my nigga. Like, you can't go into a baseball game expecting to bat 1,000. Like, you should go into a baseball game like, man, I hope I can hit like 260. Or like, if you play basketball, like, man, I hope I can shoot about 35% from three, 50% from the field. Nigga, you shouldn't go into a basketball game expecting to hit every motherfucking shot. That's not realistic. When you a woman, like, and they say all the time, like, women have unrealistic expectations of men, or women have unrealistic standards, and that's why a lot of them are single, because they standards is too high. Like, they want a man that's 7'2", built all muscle, a Christian but a gangster, a executive but a street nigga, sensitive yet aggressive, a personality, but he knows how to compromise. Like, they say that shit all the time. But like I tell women, like, dog, just write you a list of 10 things that you really want, and then list the top 3 that you completely cannot go without, and then just hope that a motherfucker could get close to the other 7. Like, anything that you want, my nigga, in life, you don't always get exactly what you want. So you should just always aim to get somewhere close to that shit. And that's always my problem with Derrick Jackson and his message. Because it's never like women. Look, you should be thinking about the couple things you want, and then you should be working on yourself to where you could find somebody who's gonna meet all of those expectations. Because like I say on this show all the time, my nigga, like, I'm trying to help y'all improve so you could attract the type of motherfucker you want. Because that's the biggest part of when it comes to what your standards is, what you have. It's just like when you go shopping, my nigga. It ain't about what you want when you go shopping. It's about what you could fucking afford. Nigga, I could want everything in fucking Foot Locker, but if I only got $200, my nigga, I might only come out that bitch with 1 or 2 pairs of shoes. I could ask for any fucking thing, but it's all about what I have to offer to get that thing that I'm asking for. I could want everything in the motherfucking Louis Vuitton store. I could want everything in the motherfucking Gucci store. But if I only got $100, I ain't getting shit. Like, it ain't about your fucking standards all the time, my nigga. It's a lot more about what you have to offer. It's a lot more about what you bring to the motherfucking table. You worried about what another motherfucker brings to the table, and you coming to that motherfucker empty-handed yourself. Can't do that, my nigga. That's all the way bad. You hustling all the motherfucking way backwards. Like, if you listen, if you just out here looking for relationship gurus and motherfuckers to tell you what you should be looking for and what you should be asking for and what you should be requiring, if they not telling you what the fuck you need to be bringing to the table, they selling you a fucking dream. They sending you out there backwards. They fucking you up in the game, because it's all about what you have more than what you asking for, my nigga. Like the whole shit with what he did, man, that shit is irrelevant, dog. This is all gonna go away. It's all gonna play out. Something else gonna happen, and we gonna have some new shit to make memes about. This whole Derrick Jackson shit, nigga, like I said, it is what it is. He's a fucking goofy. He's a fucking hypocrite. And that is what it is, my nigga. Like, this is what happens when a motherfucker sell dreams to people. Women, y'all just need to be better judges of motherfuckers who tell you shit. Like, We as men saw through this shit the whole time. And y'all called us haters for it. Oh, y'all just hating on Derrick. No, we wasn't. We just knew we was full of shit. You know, it's a lot of motherfuckers that women like that niggas don't hate on. You know, because at the end of the day, a lot of women wasn't really fucking with Derrick Jackson so much for his message as how he looked and how he presented himself. You know, let's just keep that shit 100. If Derrick Jackson was a little ugly motherfucker, he might not even be that fucking popular on some real shit. You know, like if he was, and I was gonna say short, but it said the nigga 5'6", so you couldn't even tell. That might also be why he was sitting in the front seat of the fucking car. He probably was sitting on some fucking phone books with his little ass. But like I said, my nigga, if he was like some out of shape, funny looking motherfucker, he might not even be that popular. But you know what his main game was, you know, playing on women's biases. You know, playing on the stereotype of niggas ain't shit. You know, a lot of women that come into the game with the niggas ain't shit attitude, it don't take much to convince a motherfucker that wanna believe something. When a woman already comes in feeling like niggas ain't shit, and you tell her niggas ain't shit, nigga, she's obviously gonna jump on the motherfucking yeah, you're right, Derrick. Niggas ain't shit. Tell me more about how niggas ain't shit, Derrick. Tell me more about how I should ask for something that I can't even attain, Derrick. Tell me again how this new guy who I really like him, but he's not up to Derrick's standards. Derrick gave me 7 ways to know he's really into me. He only did 4. I should leave him alone. Nigga, Derrick is a motherfucking dirty Mac. Like, Derrick Jackson setting motherfuckers up for failure. He's setting up more women for failure than men. Because at the end of the day, we gonna do what we gonna do regardless. How we get down is how we gonna get down regardless. I don't think there's no woman who played a Derrick Jackson video for a nigga and the nigga was like, you're right, I should do what Derrick says. We looking at it like, motherfucker, Derrick Jackson? Fuck that nigga. That motherfucker don't know what the fuck he talking about. So just leave. Y'all need to unfollow that motherfucker. Matter of fact, follow him. I ain't even gonna hate. Follow his ass. But for entertainment purposes only, my nigga, just enjoy the little pretty cute bullshit he says and just take it at face value, especially now. You know, because like now I think I want to start watching that nigga videos. Even though I didn't like the apology, I didn't like the cleanup, that nigga made like a video reacting to his own fucking apology video, which was some real weirdo shit. But at the end of the day, like I kind of want to start looking and seeing how he moved from now on. Now that we know he full of shit, I want to see how his message changes, honestly, because it has to. And if it don't, that's gonna be funny. If his following don't change, that's also gonna be funny, honestly. Like this little shit gonna be a little interesting. Even though I'm saying I'm paying attention and I'm not, cause I don't really pay attention to shit, cause I don't be giving a fuck about these weird ass niggas. But you know, I'ma keep not a close eye, but I'ma look from afar to see how his shit changes. Because like it's just weird to me. Like, you know, I'm not judging him for what he did. I'm more judging him for his fucking message and how he got caught out there looking fucking stupid and how he made his wife look dumb. Because, you know, like I've also said on this show, you know, multiple times, can't nobody make you look stupid. Only you can make you look stupid. You know, what happens to you, you have no control over what happens to you. You only have control over your reaction. You know, so like the whole shit with this and, you know, how motherfuckers is like, oh, he got his wife out here looking fucked up. He don't have her looking fucked up because of what he did, because she had no control over that. What she did have control of was putting something over that goddamn bonnet. Nigga, getting her hair done before that shit or something. Like, that shit was all fucking bad. But again, like I said, my nigga, like, just the whole way the whole shit played out, my nigga. Like, it just was all bad. I just didn't like none of it. Because what he did is irrelevant. You know, how he handled it was the fucked up part. You know, especially because for you to be telling the bitch you was fucking on that your woman didn't fucking exist and she was moving out and all that, like, that nigga sloppy. And that's another thing. Like, y'all motherfuckers, you know, and I talked about this shit too. Like, quit taking advice from motherfuckers who not succeeding in the game that they trying to tell y'all. Like, how you taking advice in basketball from a motherfucker who can't play? You know, how you letting a broke motherfucker tell you what to do with your money? How you letting a single motherfucker tell you what to do in your fucking relationship? You know, part of why I don't really give relationship advice on this motherfucker. You know, my shit not perfect. You know, I've been married 12 years. In November it'll be 13 motherfucking years. But my shit not perfect. You know, my shit is strong. It's getting stronger. I'm doing the best that I can to make sure my shit works. But at the end of the day, my nigga, like, I can't give the perfect advice because I don't have a perfect motherfucking relationship. I could only give advice based on what the fuck I feel like I know and what the fuck I feel like I'm doing. You know, I give advice from a motherfucker that's in the position that I am. If you single and you trying to get married, I could tell you how because I was single and I got married. If you looking for your shit to be perfect, nigga, my advice, honestly, like my words of wisdom to a motherfucker is, it ain't gonna be perfect, my nigga. It's gonna be difficult. You know, like, my wife didn't really care for how I said, like, being married is hard because of the terms that I was using and the analogies I was using, when in all actuality I was using them in jest. To me, it was funny. But it's real though. Like, nigga, being married is not no easy motherfucking thing, my nigga. I'm not saying that it's not worth it. It's very worth it. It's very rewarding, my nigga. Like, I love being married. I honestly prefer this shit. Like, I don't regret being married. Being married dope as fuck. But at the same time, it's difficult, my nigga. Just like being in the motherfucking NBA is difficult. You know, being a fucking celebrity is difficult. Like, anything worth anything is gonna be work. It's gonna be motherfucking difficult. That don't make it any less worth it. It's just motherfucking difficult. You know, so like with this whole fucking Derrick Jackson bullshit, like, you know, with him, trying to be perfect is difficult. Selling the image of perfection is motherfucking difficult. You know, playing that fucking role is difficult. And now all he did was show you what it is. You know, he showed you how difficult it is to be the man that he said he was. You know, cause he talked all that motherfucking shit. And we all know, nigga, we all seen it happen to motherfuckers. Nigga, that humble pie don't taste good, dog. And he got a heaping helping of that shit. You know, it just was what it was what it was, my nigga. Like, you know, niggas talk that shit. And, you know, God show your ass, nigga. There's only one perfect being. If that be him. And that's what it was, my nigga. Ain't no motherfucking man perfect, dog. Women, take notes. The nigga who sold y'all all that bullshit, he ain't perfect himself. So when you fucking with a man and he does something to show you that he himself is imperfect, keep that shit in mind, my nigga. You know, cause I know a lot of y'all was really thinking, oh, I just wish I could get a nigga like Derrick. I wish I had a man like Derrick. No, you don't. Cause Derrick do the same shit your baby daddy did. Derrick do the same shit your husband did. Derrick do the same shit your boyfriend did. And kind of worse. Nigga, fuck the bitch in they bed. Like, that's a lot. You know, that's a lot to forgive a motherfucker for. That's a lot to apologize for. You know, like, I want to feel sorry for that nigga, but I can't because of the way he portrayed himself, honestly, my nigga. Like, nigga, you told us you was Mr. Perfect, so it's hard for me to have sympathy for you, dog. As much as I want to, I don't. But you know, at the end of the day, like I said, my nigga, like, if I'm just gonna cut it all down into itsy bitsy bits and pieces of advice based on what the fuck happened, you know, you always fuck yourself when you try to put forth an image that you cannot keep up. You know, when you speak about some shit that you can't fucking live up to, my nigga. Like, it's always easier to just live as your motherfucking self. It's always easier when you just like, look, nigga, this is what I am. This is what I have to offer. This is what I could do, and leave it at that. Don't try to talk yourself up above what you actually are, because you're going to kick yourself in the ass every motherfucking time. You know? And I've given the advice as far as like who you listen to and who you take advice from, my nigga. Don't take advice from a motherfucker that's not literally showing you what the fuck they got going on, my nigga. You know, like, always believe actions more than words. He was all lip service. Nice to tell motherfuckers all the time, dog. Like, I need to see him and his wife interact. I want to see him and his wife on a date. I want to see how him and his wife get down. His wife don't be in none of these motherfucking videos. You know, like, he don't show his wife off like that. I always question shit like that. Because, of course, nigga, I do a solo podcast. It's just me. But I always speak about me and my wife. Me and my wife's interactions. What I do with my wife. What I do for my wife. You know, how me and my wife speak. You know, our interactions and how it go between us. Like, you know, it be what it be, my nigga. But I don't fucking sell perfection because I don't have perfection to sell, my nigga. I just am what I am. Now I'm gonna drop the mic on that shit. If you would like to support us financially, it is patreon.com/townhousemedia. Town E House Media. Support all the Townhouse Media podcasts. Seriously, none other podcasts. Friday nights, 9 p.m. with the super producer Ben Reddy, aka King Tuh. You know, Fridays, whenever the fuck you get around to it at 9. Not sure when that motherfucker coming back, but be on the lookout, my nigga. Tuesday nights, the Sports For You podcast, Sports, number 4, letter U, my favorite sports podcast, with Mark, John Watson, and Nick motherfucking Freeze. Y'all niggas be on the lookout for them. Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, live on Facebook and YouTube. The No Rules podcast, live at 5 Pacific time. Wednesdays, with Mark and Ill Will, the motherfucking gym dropper, the Juice Crew, aka The Bloods. On Sundays, the Cat vs. Dog podcast with me and CJ, my co-host Chelsea Perry, the celebrity at Townhouse Media. Whenever the fuck we fuck around and find our way to that goddamn studio on a Sunday, 3 p.m. Pacific time, live at 5 Houston time. I ain't sure when we coming back, dog. I ain't even gonna front with you. But be on the lookout for that shit, man. You know, one of these days when we get around to it, trust me, I'll let you niggas know. But follow me on social media at Instagram, Uncle Dolemite, or at Too Much Game Podcast. Twitter and Clubhouse at Yung Dolemite, YUNGDOLEMITE. You know, like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. Available on all streaming platforms and all that good old shit. You want to give me some money, cash at me. YUNGDOLEMITE. And I guess that's it, my nigga. I ain't here to help you get bitches. I'm here to help you get better. Too much game.